Welcome back to the Sesame Spectacle podcast. I'm Sky,
It's your boy Neil.
and Neil is without camera today, but that's
Yes, I do
okay.
apologize.
That's okay because we have a friend joining us, so I won't be as lonely over here. We are going to be talking about a specific show today. We've talked about doing this where we'll do like kind of one show at a time because there's usually so much to cover for each show individually that we don't want to compress everything into one. So we wanted to flesh everything out. So we have our friend Joey joining us for this episode.
Yes, everyone, welcome Joey Tastic to the podcast.
What's up, dude?
How's everyone doing?
Pretty good.
It was a very big reason I came on because I actually know a lot about this show.
You do. That you were the first person we thought of when we knew we were doing this one.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
All the years. We all at the end of this, recommend you check out I actually put up some 2005 footage of the show. Almost the entire thing. I think including the Cookie Monster segment that nobody put on YouTube ever. So that's crazy.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, some rare stuff there. But we could get started.
Yeah. Well, before we get right into Beach Party, I figured we'd talk a little bit about some updates, some modern updates, right?
Updates. Okay. More like get that
very controversial
elementary school setup coming in there.
Yeah, so
the world wants to see it, man.
yeah, they do. They do. These parents are going to be really thrilled.
Parents are gonna
to
be,
see this.
oh boy.
So this past weekend we had the Elmo's Pirate Weekend. That returned. And
Still
a
going.
show has returned. Elmo and the Book.
Yep.
And it returned in the
Not
new movie.
the SeaWorld version. It's the cheapened up
Oh,
Magic of Art version.
yes, not this time in the
Yeah,
Paradise
that was
Theater.
transition into the Big Bird Theater. Like I said, I will forever call it the Big Bird Theater.
The
Me
Big
too.
Bird Theater,
Okay.
aka the Sesame Street Theater.
Sesame
but
Street
they-
Neighborhood Theater, and then it went from Monster Rock. Now, are we changing the names? Like, what are you doing?
Mhm,
What are you doing there?
mhm.
I think it is cool to see some of these characters on that stage again because they haven't done like a full cast show
Correct.
on that stage in forever.
Very good to hear Kevin Clash's voice again.
Oh yeah, Kevin, Steve,
Yeah.
it's cool to see that again.
I will say this. For the transition to the Magic of Art stage, it looks presentable. It was too much open space, if that makes sense. The intimacy of the Paradise Theater made the show a little bit better, in my opinion.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, they had more space here, but it was a little too open. Which works in some shows, but this show I feel like it really just didn't.
It's just
Do we know exactly why they did it over here? Was it just because they didn't want to stop running the other?
Did they run Welcome to the Party at the same day, or
Well, not Saturday, but Sunday they did. Since it was raining, they cut Welcome to the Party, but they were going to run it on Saturday. They did run it on Sunday.
Okay.
And they were running this show. But when you think about it, they kind of have to be at the beach. So when you have the backdrop of Welcome to the Party, it's like, you can't really think it's the beach, even though this isn't really realistic either.
Yeah.
But,
But I also feel like
you
it
can
would have
imagination
been.
a little bit more.
It definitely would have been a little bit more out of place for
Right.
Welcome to the Party to be here.
Hmm.
It wouldn't really make sense for them to take the new show and move it all the way to. There's probably more set up for that backstage.
Doing with Studio? What are they doing with that? Are they still doing a meet and greet every summer there? Or are they doing because they should have a
the
show.
studio, they're only doing story time. That's all.
Yeah, but they have the Elmo the musical. Why aren't they running that over the?
That is seasonal. They're
Stupid.
doing it from
That
Mardi
is
Gras.
stupid. Because I remember going there so many times. There was like 3 shows running at the same time.
Yeah, so the problem is now with that is there's some of the like effects that are broken. So like when the show was running this past season, I would look at the effects and I'm like, there's things missing. And I'm like, okay, I can kind of understand why they don't run this in the regular season.
If anything, they should bring back Elmo's World, but it's the new one. Because I don't think Elmo Musical was even on Sesame Street anymore.
There's definitely a way they could modernize that old version, though. The same way they did the actual show, you know? I don't think that'd be a bad idea. Because people hear that title
like Elmo,
and they recognize it. You know, everyone can recognize that title and they'll want to see it.
I mean, I can understand from like a current standpoint. I mean, from like if they just were to, put in the Elmo, but come on, it's la 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 Elmo's World. It's like that show has been there. That show's been there for 13 years. 13 years.
Yeah,
that is a long run.
A very long run indeed. Very long run indeed. I will say this though. The performers did their thing this weekend. Just showing some of the people who are watching some footage. I do like, as far as like the history aspect, this was the first time we saw Bert and Ernie in this theater in almost a decade.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. I think the coolest part of this is just seeing all these characters on this stage.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because
it's been like what, I don't even know what, around like a decade.
I think the show with the most characters in a theme park show, I think was, well, besides the Big Bird Company ones, I think it was the Christmas one, the Sesame Street Christmas. That one had a lot of characters. I remember that one having a lot of characters.
I think that was their largest cast. The largest cast now.
Yeah,
will probably be this show. Yeah, probably be this show would be the largest cast. Which is sad. That's Bert and Ernie. Everyone knows. God doesn't like these outfits and these heads and whatnot. We already know. Animax, no bueno here.
Sorry.
Oh, a little too far. All right, there we go.
Okay.
Cookie has a new
his ride outfit from that Monster Land. Copy and paste. That's literally a copy and paste.
Literally copy and paste. It's better. Honestly, they're doing that for a lot of like their outfits.
Yeah.
The summertime outfits are basically the counterparts from the illustrations they did for the summertime years ago. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Moving on from that subject, we want to move into the 1, 2, 3 playground.
Oh boy!
Now, on an episode previous to this, I did vocalize that I was really excited about this. I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah, I was excited for it too. For seeing the final result.
Yeah. Oh no, I was looking forward to it, but I'll also be the first to say that I'm very underwhelmed.
I'm disappointed.
Oh, yeah. I'm very disappointed. I mean, it's not for me anyway, but I'm disappointed for the people who are.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as disappointed as like we could be about a thing that we're not gonna be at anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like we're not. Yeah.
Right. I was never going to extend.
I'm like, you'd expect like it to visually look better.
Yeah. Right. I expected it to be a little bit more.
Especially coming from a SeaWorld park, you expect better.
I expected it to be a little bit more themed.
Yeah.
To Sesame Street. You know.
It's so amazing.
It feels really
like you could put this anywhere. You could put this anywhere, and you wouldn't even know it's a Sesame Street thing.
There was, what the thing that's disappointing about it? It's not even just the way that it looks. It's just that there was so much potential for it. They could have made it so unique and attractive.
Look at that.
And the topiaries are plastic.
This is not done yet. Yeah, this isn't done yet. So it's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
But look at this playground. It's very, very small. I know it's for toddlers, but
it's also like you could see this at like a hotel rather than how so I'm only referring to this because it looked like a plastic topiary instead of like actual topiary. I I also think is like, I'm just a theme park guy in general. So like when you go to Disney, they have the all-star resorts, and they just have your basic ass playground. That could probably be in there. You know, there's no theming. There's absolutely no theming here, and yeah, that's all I can say.
It just seems weird because they have, or because they used to have real topiaries. What are they do? What are they doing?
You could have put like the Elmo one that they demolished.
Now, to be fair, I want to play devil's advocate. I think the reason why they put plastic is because they're going to be grabbing at this stuff. There's no fence around it. There's going to be kids grabbing at it. So I think they went with plastic because there's no way to prevent people from throwing flowers. Topiaries are going to get damaged.
But you know what? To play devil's advocate to the devil's advocate, in the San Diego park, they have that big statue of like all the characters sitting. They had to put a fence around that because it was getting chipped and broken because of kids like sitting on it and playing with it. So I would also kind of argue that that kind of damage is going to happen to them anyway,
regardless.
If
the parents aren't like, you know, keeping an eye on their kids.
Yeah,
that is true.
It's a kid's park. You know, you can't expect anything.
Yeah, this stuff is
But we'll see. I mean, literally, we'll see. You know, I don't know.
Yay.
I will say this. I think the coolest part of this whole playground is these cookie jars here.
Oh yeah, I was about
yeah, that's cool.
That's like the only impressive thing.
That's the kind of stuff there should have been more of, you know.
Like more of that.
Right, there's like little barrels on the ground, and I'm like,
The only thing here's my only advice to them that they will not hear or listen to, but I think something that would help it out a lot is if you have the walkarounds like in there or around there, you know, to help like just to make it feel like you're still in the park, you know what I mean, and not have it feel like you're just in a random playground. I feel like to have all the walkarounds around it, that would definitely help.
From this video, I just want to let you guys know, you really can't see it, but on the other side, the rubber ducky statue is there.
Oh, the statue is
doing meet and greets right in front of there.
Honestly,
and then I'm sure.
Honestly, I wish like if they were to retheme that to what's the new slide called that they replaced Sky Splash? What's the new one?
Elmo Surf and Slide.
Yeah, you could have put Dorothy not Dorothy the dinosaur. What am I saying? Dorothy the goldfish instead of just Sesame Place logo. Like,
yeah.
Oh, stupid. Dorothy.
Yeah, I think Dorothy would have been a good idea.
That would have been nice.
At the same time, I feel like, as far as like, from a marketing perspective, it's not as recognizable to people who aren't, you know, familiar. But it would have been really on
the duck, man.
On brand.
That was iconic.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm just glad it's still here, you know.
I mean, it
could have been worse. They could have done what they did with every other part of that land.
Tweedlebug land.
It is gone. Dumpster gone.
Yeah.
Like
Ernie, yeah.
All right. And the last and final topic we're going to get into now we talk about 1, 2, 3 Playground. Sesame Place has started their own version of their V.I.P. meet and greet. Not meet and greet, I'm sorry. Experience. At a whopping $400 per person, you can get your own V.I.P. experience at Sesame Place. 2-person minimum. 2. So minimum you're spending $800 minus admission to get a VIP experience, ladies and gentlemen. Now listen, I know we're all shaking our heads and saying, what are they thinking? But there might be some value to this, and I might want to give you guys a little sense into what that value might be before I get some of your opinions on it. No? So
I will hold my opinions back.
Oh no, okay.
So I have a breakdown of like what the experience is like and what you can do. So to start your day, you will meet your VIP contact which is more likely going to be a higher up entertainment specialist, whoever. You're going to meet them at the Sesame Place store. Now, to be fair, guys, this is a good entry. Be fired, pleasing, all that. But remember, you do have to buy a ticket in additional to this experience. So you must arrive by at least 10 a.m. You cannot be late. You cannot be late. And then from 10 a.m. you check in around 12:15. You get your Abby Magic Q. You get your photo key, so you're getting those high quality photos. Which I'm not gonna lie, the photos are pretty quality if you're gonna do a photographer. I plan on that at all. Now, as far as how much of a value this is already, let me just give you what that value is. So Abby's Magic Cube, if you're not a season pass holder, is around like $40 to $60, depending on how the charging and the discounts are going. And then photo key is $100. So right there, that's about $160 already when you're jumping in. That's the value they're giving. All right, to start right there at 10:15, and then you check into your cabana.
Oh boy!
Yes, you check into your cabana at 10:25. Now, the cabana itself, when you buy it separately from this package, is about $700. But with that $700, 6 people are included. So,
wait. 6 adults, or do children count?
Oh, children are definitely included. So children under 2 don't.
700.
So children count as like one of the 6 people.
Correct. If you're over 2, correct.
Oh my. Okay, continue.
So that's 116 per person to do it separately, right? So
You gotta be on something in this money.
So we're already at 160 plus about 116 because you're one person, but you gotta do about 2. But just, we're just gonna act like you're one person. So 116 plus 160, we're already at 276, right? That's the value we're at right now. So from your cabana check-in, you're a VIP escort lead. Okay, he checks you in and says, "All right, I'm gonna be back. Deuces, have fun, blah blah blah." Now from there, you have a choice to either do dine at 11 or 1:30, 11:30 or 1:30, or you can choose to be a show. You just have to schedule that accordingly. So you just meet your contact about 15 minutes before the reservation, explain the carousel, then you go in, they put you to the table, and then you experience Dine With Me like a regular person. How much is Dine With Me? About $40, $50. So let's add another $50 to this, and we're at $326. You see where I'm getting with this? We're kind of seeing where it might be okay. But let's wait. See what else is coming on with it, right? So we move on. So after you choose Dine With Me, you have the choice of getting reserved show seating. Now, to be fair, is this needed? Depending on the type of fan you are or the type of fan you choose. This is something that's only included in season passes. So if you were going with just a regular ticket, it's not really a price add-on. So this really doesn't have a quote-unquote value. This is more of like a perk, but it's a pretty decent perk depending on what shows are running at that time. Which, if this is during the summer, you should have the Magic Part and Welcome to the Party that do allow reserved show seating. So you can do that at any time during the whole day, I'm assuming, with this package. Moving on from that, you can also enjoy the water rides, attractions. You do get front of the line access with that wristband, so you don't gotta worry about waiting in line, which is included part and stuff like that. That's already included where we're at right now, so we're still at the price of $326. Moving on. Now this is a part where I'm like, finally, you listen to us. You bring back the parade meat, but at a cost. Now, what that's gonna be, I'm gonna let everyone else, decide. But at 2:45, 15 minutes before the parade starts, you do get a chance to meet the entire parade cast before the parade begins.
It'd be more worth it if Jackman Wolf was in that meet and greet.
they have them too. That's the thing.
Yeah, somewhere he's hiding around somewhere.
So we're at a value of $376. Also, this includes preferred parking, if I'm not mistaken. So preferred parking on any given day, if you're pulling up, $55. If you buy it online beforehand, $45. So you're already over $400. So you're at $421. And then they escort you to this VIP area for the parade. Honestly, I don't know where that VIP area is going to be.
Yep.
Is it going to be in the regular VIP reserved spot? I don't know.
Probably.
Probably. They're probably just going to say this bench is reserved for these people who can't sit here.
I don't even know, man.
And then you enjoy water attractions from 3:30 to 5 or 7, depending on the time in the summer. And that is it. That is your experience. That is your VIP experience.
That is terrible.
About as much
Now
as they can
that
offer.
we at the end of this journey, we're at a total of $421.66. Now remember, they're valuing this at $400. So how much money are you saving? Nothing. Do I think this is a good idea? Do I think the price is good? Hell no.
No.
Why?
No.
It's a small park.
Gotta make it more
Flags
affordable.
do- Six Flags did
Limited options for a small park.
$300. So when you have bigger parks doing it for at least $100 less, you kind of gotta look at the mirror, SeaWorld, and go, are we doing a little too much?
This is a problem. This is an issue of value, because obviously all of those things are great, and everyone wants to do all of that. Like, of course, all those things are awesome. A lot of them are stuff they haven't offered before, or at least not in a very long time. But you also have to think about, you said it's 400 and it's minimum 2 people, so it's 800.
800.
That's a lot of money.
I can't think of. There's nothing that a park that small could offer that is $800 in value, unless, like, I don't know. I mean, what is there that's that much in value? I don't know. So it has nothing to do with like this being a bad feature. You know, it's being a bad option, but it's just the value is not there for that price. It's just not.
And honestly, they put it in a bundle package, and like I said, I mean, when you do the math, it's the regular pricing of this stuff.
It doesn't even come with the ticket too. That's the thing. Like,
Right,
you have to
yeah,
buy
I
a
think
ticket
it's
separately. That's
It's going to
such
be
a
over
little.
$1,000 at the end of the day. It's going to be over $1,000.
No.
I mean, if you can afford it, each his own, do what you want to do. I appreciate them for trying and putting this out there. For those who are going to do it, you see the value in it. God bless you.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm curious. I mean, Neil, you're there more often than we are.
I mean,
Let us know if you see people doing it.
Oh, I know they're going to do it. Oh,
You know,
there's going to be some people doing it.
you know. I'm curious how often people are going to be doing this.
Oh my
Yes. And then one other thing they added on, which I don't have like screenshots of, but they are doing the birthday parties again.
Oh, right. Well, you know what? The market will decide, so we will see. If people buy it and it's successful, then, you know, joke's on us. We will
They'll
see.
raise the price even more.
I am skeptical.
Good old SeaWorld. Good old
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta love it, man.
All right. Now it's time to jump into the main topic of the video. Now that we're done with our updates, we're going to take it all the way back to 2003. Why 2003? We're going to talk about the thought of a new show coming soon. Now, at that time in 2003, we all know the show that was running. It was usually Sesame. and Ring in the Frost. Those two shows, classic. One of the last shows that featured Jim Henson's voice. Personally, dearly. But in 2004, a new show emerged. And this show was different. It wasn't more of like a musical review, it actually had a story. And what show was that, ladies and gentlemen? The one and only Big Bird's Beach Party. Come on, guys. We got to give a round of applause for this legendary show.
It is.
Now, the funny fact about the show, I'm sure Sty and Joey, they know this. It didn't premiere at Sesame Place first.
No, it did not. And it's crazy because I actually didn't know that until that video was put up. That, at Busch Gardens, Tampa, of all places.
Right.
I didn't know this.
Out of all places, it premiered in Busch Gardens, Tampa. The same year, just a couple months apart, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
How
crazy.
things played out.
Right into 2004, he like jumped in right. It was like January.
And it's funny because you would hear things about this as far as like obviously like news clippings of like them bringing the show here and saying that it premiered here first, and then like, where is the footage of this? And then voila. I don't know what's going on lately with this Lost Media Renaissance.
Yeah, like we've been getting so much. It's so
Keep
much.
it going. Keep it going.
Yes.
We
I want
need
to
it.
I want to be shook.
I'm surprised there's this much coming up. I mean, think about how, all things considered, think about how obscure this is. 2004 footage of this show in Tampa. Like, I'm surprised we even have it.
Oh man.
I never thought I'd see this. And
How long did this play in
You got that
Tampa? Do we know?
Nice Big Bird.
It only played for a few months. It wasn't there for long, and then it ended up shipping over to the other.
That's even more of
Yes.
an amazing thing that there's footage played for like 5 minutes, and now here we are watching it. Like,
One thing I love about this, like, what is this? It features one of like the older OG costumes, the big fat nose. The one I remember meeting and I was terrified of. But I still love that character to this day.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
That might have been the
nose.
last time. That might have been the
that's
last
what I
time
remember.
I saw that kind of specific one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, he's got energy.
Oh, he definitely does. What's weird about this version is, what's not really weird, it's just a unique thing. Ellie doesn't appear until Let's Go Drive, which is interesting.
That Big
itself,
Bird
but-
is interesting. That Big Bird is a very interesting Big Bird right there.
Yeah, that's that 2000.
That head.
That's that 2000.
Like Tokyo Sesame Place.
Now, I'm not seeing any of it here, but 2004 was more or less the time period when they were transitioning from V to Animax.
Yep.
So I don't see any Animax in this video, but I'm pretty sure like almost the entirety of that show, this show, at least in Sesame Place I know, was where you visually would see the transition.
I think 05, like 04 to like 09 had like that Elmo costume might be my favorite one.
Yeah.
The Elmos were like the ones I uploaded. The Elmos were one that is purple. That is the most
Very
perfect
accurate.
costume you could ever get. Now it's like what? Crazy because in the early years of the show they had Elmo butt naked.
They did.
And then crazy because in Tampa they have him wear some sort of bathing suit, and then they just like, okay, let's make him naked, so people could, he's Elmo, right? But then in 07 they made that decision to add a suit, and then in the first year Telly's suit was not orange. I think it was like a pink. It was like a purplish. It was a different color.
And this was, I believe this was the first time that they really had a full cast show like this that also had a human actor
That guy right there.
in the park.
He's been performing at the park for years. He was in Our Street of Sesame Street. He did Oscar's Big Game Show. He did Elmo Rocks, and then he did this. Yeah. I the one I uploaded of Oscar's Big Game Show. Yeah, that's him in the video, and that's crazy. And then and then the David Jack stuff was crazy. That'd be another good episode. We got to do a David Jack.
Oh my gosh,
we'll hit them all.
See that one Island Adventure show.
And I visited the park in 2005, but I didn't see this show, and that's because it was during the off season. They were doing Countdown to Halloween.
That was the first year.
So that's the only other show that was playing at this theater at the same time.
Yeah, Elmo.
Because this was their summer. This was the summer show. This was not an all-year thing.
Yeah, but they still have the Elmo's World. Like that was still going on. But
oh yeah, that was still that was just.
Did they have anything in Paradise, or did they have? Did they run Oscar's Big Game Show? Or?
Yes, it was Oscar's Big Game Show at that time.
Oh yeah.
Even in October or September.
Because yeah, because I noticed they would transition from.
I don't remember. I don't know.
Dance and
well, those were the earlier years. So that was,
I assume they did game show if say David Jack wasn't there. They just did that show, so they just rotate. But anyway, main topic. I don't.
Joey, we want you to guide this discussion because you are the.
I don't recall. I think they had. Did they use the other Bert and Ernie heads like at all for this show? I think they did.
Yeah, I think they only used it for the first year.
I could have sworn because in my pictures they were using these heads in 04. If you could pull them up. Okay, that's the 04. No, yeah, this is 04. Yeah, because we don't have that on video. That's the 05. That we have on video. Oh, this is 05. Oh yeah, this I love this photo. That big bird, man. That big bird. I'm sorry, I was never the biggest fan of that Zoe costume. The other photo right there. The other photo.
Oh, this one.
That one I hate.
Yeah.
They used that even in 08.
Yeah, that one lasted too long.
Why? Just the eyes are just not it.
Hey, they gotta get their money's worth somehow.
Yeah.
The mouth was always kind of like gaping open too.
That Elmo they used, I think that was the first year for that costume.
I actually really love this head. Really good.
And then that's 05. That big bird is excellent. But
oh, there goes that big mouth Zoe.
Do you like that, Zoe?
Yeah, it's just not,
Look like a puppet.
I will say though, very accurate, Animax, very accurate. We give them that.
It is accurate, yeah.
We got another one right here.
I'm just so confused on why they kept changing like
what song was that? Yeah, you can't even tell what song the pictures are.
Nah.
Yeah, this one I can't tell.
Joey, what was your first time seeing this? Do you have memory of it? What was it?
First time I saw this was in this show. All these pictures. This was the first time I saw the show. Visually, I can't remember anything, but I remember through video and stuff. I remember we were sitting in the very, like parents would drag their kids to the very front. This was like more popular back then. Nobody does this anymore. They used to get all the kids in the very front. It was packed in that theater. Yeah. I don't think that theater fills up anymore as it used to.
This theater had a peak. You know what I mean? And that was the time period.
I remember during this time they would have it's full of kids, kids running around the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
It was crazy. I remember we'll talk about songs as we progress, but I remember. I think if you keep going through the pictures, I think I could probably pull in a little more context. Yeah, that one. Yeah. So right over there, I think this was during the what was that song? Was the Codfish song? And yeah, this was.
Wait a minute. This is the first time I'm noticing. Sorry to cut you off, Joey, but the stage floor is sand.
Yes.
Wait, I've never noticed that.
It was
And it's a different backdrop too.
Stage, yeah, and then the water. Yeah, the water was all the way in the little edge area.
Wait, what
It
the
was
heck?
good. And it's crazy because they would use and I like this like when I was a kid, like I wanted to know what was inside those tents. You know, like they would like go in those tents. And, like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and the thing that I just that for some reason I found this very funny when I was a little younger. I was like, the character's going regularly, but then Big Bird always has to pull his head all the way down.
Right.
Yeah.
Every time. And for me, I'm sorry. It's so minor, but it's iconic. I'm sorry. It's iconic.
No, it definitely is.
The duck.
Yeah. They actually used this set for I don't know if they still have like the lip sync events. Because they used to have like lip sync events. Yeah, because they had like a Lion King one like around and I was like, dang, this stage at night, no kids. It was for their staff, I'm assuming.
Now, Joey, do you live in the area of Bucks County? Or...
I do not. I would come every year though. Like we would drive a 2-hour drive. And it was like I went regularly from 2004 to 2013, and then I made another visit in 2021 for a summer job, and it was cool to be back. I mean, in 2021, it felt the same. It didn't like certain things were still there that aren't now, like the rubber duck and sky splash, like that whole area.
Yeah.
That whole area was still there. That was cool. That was like during the COVID times, so they were like not really doing much. But this show lasted 6 years.
Yeah, that's a decent amount of time.
2004 to 2009 is crazy. That is a wild run.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's funny because you can see occasionally they would do those Lazy Town shows that would come in, and they all have this backdrop too, because they would just
and they actually had most of the real people. They didn't have Telly did the little robe. Yeah, it's crazy because a lot of times in this song alone, not all. Well, this part was obviously choreographed, but they had I think whenever Ernie would come in, it was always improv. I don't think he would really do anything anything specific. Sometimes he'd do a cartwheel. Him and Bert would do something cool. It was always different.
One thing I love about this theme too is I've never seen a video of when Ernie has to throw. No, Big Bird has to throw his sticks.
When he throws it, yeah.
Yeah, he chucks it. And I'm like, yo, what the hell? What's going on here?
There was another video. It was called Me and David, and in that video, there's one big. He's like throwing it like boom. It's like
I think that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
They were using that other head in that one. That was like one of the rarer ones.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that was an 05 because the costume for Tally's suit was not the 04 one. But there actually was there was a video of the final performance of the show.
We were just talking about that.
Plus media, we can't find it. But I remember that audience was. It sounded mostly like team members, like employees, because that audience was crazy.
And at the end of that show, I think it was Baby Bear, Curry Don, Abby, and Joker.
Oh, they brought like all of them for the Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
Honestly, they actually removed the Cookie Monster intro, 7. For some odd reason, they got rid of it.
Very, very strange.
I think, funny enough, up to this point, I think other than, at least while it was running, this was the most amount of characters that had been in anything.
Was that all the photos they sent?
That was.
Oh yeah, it was a decent amount.
You can see these earlier clips too. There's no backdrop. It's just, or there is a backdrop, but it's just a big like image.
Yeah, one thing I will say about this show, it introduced the storyline element, and I feel like that was something that was missing with the shows. Yeah, the review shows were fire. I think one thing that was missing was the kids seeing an actual quote-unquote episode, if that makes sense. And I felt like this show definitely brought that to the team.
Yeah, as far as themes go, I mean, what makes more sense than this for a summer show,
Oh yeah, of course.
This made perfect sense.
It's hot. And
Favorite song in the show? All of you. Favorite song?
not to sound like a copycat, but Let's Go Driving is.
Go Driving, yeah.
Hey,
Let's Go Driving is my favorite.
It's just so, it's a good arrangement of it.
Good energy, good range.
Yeah, good energy.
Definitely reminds me of my times going there. Like every time I think of that version of the song, I think, dang, that's when I went to Sesame Place. Like this was the time to go.
Right.
And like, especially like the way they advertised things back then was more eye-popping than now.
I remember those commercials vividly.
Those commercials, even the websites were like they had. Like, I remember they had like a Bert and Ernie popping out saying the lines from this show. I want to talk about there was a segment in there. I think it was the hot and cold segment of the show, and I think what they would do, I don't know how they would control the dialogue. I think what they would do is they would, if they took a while to, because I think this was heavy on audience participation, sometimes the cueing was weird because they would have like oh, hot, cold, and then I don't know what they would do. I think they'd press a button and say, "Oh, you found it, Bert, you found it," because it wouldn't always be on time. I also noticed in certain shows, yeah, like that wouldn't come on right away. Sometimes it'd be like a weird pause, and then he says that. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did every show have pearly shells, or did they cut that in certain shows?
See, now I think in the beginning they had it, and I think probably for time constraints they cut it after a while. I know it returned when they did it in the Beaches show.
Yeah, because they had the. I always assumed they cut it because they didn't have anybody to come up, because that was something they used to do a lot. They used to have like the dads come on stage and do a little dance. The thing about this, I remember like in my videos we had certain like we get back to the Coppish number. There were certain kids in oh my god, close up. We get we get like kids in the audience going, "Go Ernie, go Ernie!" Like I love that.
Yes, so much like encouragement. You don't get that now. You really don't.
Nothing like that anymore. And sometimes like I look back on my videos and I go like, was it actually raining outside, or was it just the water spraying from the
oh.
Yeah.
They actually did have like water spraying all the time.
Yeah.
So it's probably both on some days, but most water.
And then that Beach Boys medley, they actually use that for the. I think they use that for the opening for that awful Big Bird's Beach. They just They use that. That Elmo is weird. That is a weird. That is a weird
I
looking
don't
Elmo.
know. I want to make a wild guess and say that's an Animax Elmo, but I could be wrong. I don't know. It's just the way the head shapes.
That Zoe was good.
Neil, do you have any memory that stands out to you of seeing this?
I mean, really, it's the Cuttlefish Ball. With so much energy, so much crowd participation, and interaction, and all that jazz.
Because I'm sure you saw this show probably more than once, right?
Twice. Because every time I went, it was with summer camp. So usually with summer camps, you know, you'll see shows and more so like water rides, parades, that stuff.
That beaches version is interesting because they actually this version of from Tampa, they use that codfish ball arrangement, which I'm not a big fan of in my opinion. I don't like it. I like the one in Philadelphia more.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is still playing, right?
No.
And,
No,
beaches? They're still playing at beaches.
Mm-hmm.
So this might be, at least from my memory, might be one of the longest playing shows that they've ever had.
No, You and Me and Sesame is. Because they'll occasionally bring that up.
I know Elmo Rocks ran around.
But I feel like this has been playing more consistently.
How long has Elmo Rocks been a show? Because that one
It's not
was
playing anymore.
I know, but I think it was recent that they shut it in SeaWorld.
I would say 2010 to 2022.
Dang.
So,
I'm pretty sure at the park it closed in like 14, right?
2015.
15?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the show. For anyone that doesn't know, that was the show that came right after this.
I didn't hate that show. That'd be another episode, obviously. I was trying to think. Yeah, that beaches version. Let's talk about that Big Bird.
hold on 1 second.
I need you to play that again, please.
I'm downloading some the rest of the players real quick.
So Joey, how many times did you see the show? Do you remember?
I saw it 4, 5, about 7 times.
7 times. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have any like specific memory of it, like a moment or something that you think of a lot?
I remember walking in that theater every time. Just walking in and getting a seat. I remember like when you go up, like we look up in like the little ceiling, they have like the little character things you would wait. Like they have like little character displays, like little like signs of the character. Yeah. They don't have this anymore. They got rid of these. I'm like, no! How dare you? This like. No, that was like so cool, and then just going in, watching it, and then going up to where we get close up with characters. It was great. Yeah, right, that one right there. Yep, it was another photo, and that one. Both from 05.
And so these pictures we're looking at that are yours, right? These are.
Say that again.
These pictures that we're looking at that are yours, obviously.
Yeah, they're from
you've never posted these anywhere, right?
I don't think I have posted that one yet. I posted 3 of these, but not all of them. I haven't posted all of them yet. But yeah, so these are pretty rare, obviously.
Yes, well, we're happy to premiere them here.
Yeah.
Look at that.
These are really great.
That button up is clean. Like,
yeah.
That's interesting. Zoe had too. Scott, I don't think you answered the question when Joey asked. Do you have a favorite song?
There weren't a lot.
They did Splish Splash in this, right?
Splish Splash at the very end. That was telling me a big number. Yep.
I feel like that's.
They finally get in the water.
I think that's probably the one that I.
Oh, but yeah, we got to get to that Big Bird and beaches. So we got to get to that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
The show did live on, and it went from our favorite park, Sesame Place.
So when is this video from that you're gonna show?
This is recent. This is like maybe 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not long. We're not going to play the whole show because we can go into a whole topic of beaches and how they do their performances and their character.
Very interesting version.
It's just
So the
but
main
yeah,
difference,
the main differences is there's no Telly and there is no Jamie.
Jamie. So it's Abby Cadabby.
Abby Cadabby is the substitute.
And a very odd sounding Big Bird. We're gonna get to that.
Yes. So for some reason, when the show was brought to beaches, they obviously had to redub some lines and add on some dialogue, which is expected when they update things. So when you remove some things, you expect the additions to be welcomed. And a lot of people might not be the biggest Abby fan. I've grown to love her. She's a great addition to the Muppets. I think her addition to the show is fine. But to mix match different voices of one character, which it happens quite sometimes, with Kevin Clash's Elmo and like Dylan's Elmo. But to the average ear, it's not that big of a deal. But with this year,
it sure is hot. I've been flapping my wings all day to keep cool.
Do you want to sing with me to keep?
I'm almost certain that is Carol Spinney
Sounds
when
like
he was much older.
yeah.
I think that is old Carol Spinney.
Like, as you keep hearing it, it is like it does sound like Carol, but
it sure is hot. I've been flapping my wings all day to keep cool.
yeah.
Do you want to sing with me to keep your mind off the heat?
Sure.
I'll say go away. Ryan.
Yeah, that was
So-
definitely Carol
so
Spinney
distinct.
trying to like speak loudly. You know what I
I
mean?
honestly
Yeah.
think if we were to say like the performance where Carol was, because he had dystonia, I think. Yeah, that's what he had. The performance where I believe he should have retired right away was the autism episode, because he just did not sound good in that whatsoever. He didn't sound good at that. And they put auto tune on his singing.
Yeah.
Then
I
we
think-
got here. Yeah.
I think for the PBS version, they redubbed Matt. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I know on certain like audio tracks he has been redubbed.
I
It's just
prefer.
his later years. He just sounded.
I actually prefer Matt's earlier Big Bird. I prefer his earlier Big Bird, like his Journey to Ernie Big Bird. I prefer that over his new.
So like
current-
the 2000s era.
yeah, like I like that. Man, that's when Matt Vogel was somewhat passable.
Yeah, over time, like it's gotten very like deeper. Obviously, the older you get, it's gonna happen naturally.
Yeah.
It's not the same as when it started.
Yeah, I mean they've all gotten to a point where they've sort of settled into their version. Because in the beginning they're really trying to imitate,
I
and
also
then they just get comfortable with their own thing.
noticed Pearly Shells is somewhat extended in this version. They have a verse for Abby, then a verse for Elmo, and then a verse for everybody. Another thing I noticed is they bring back the Tampa codfish ball.
They did.
They don't bring back one for Philly. One for Philly is nope.
You know what? I don't like the instrumental. The instrumental is kind of garbage.
For what? Phillies or
Uh,
Tampa?
No, beaches. I don't like.
Oh, I hate it. No, the
It's, uh,
Tampa one is not good. No. Yeah, because Philly had that dance break that was great.
Mhm.
That was missing from the.
Yeah, it was a different arrangement.
Let me get that. Let's go driving in an automobile.
Do you have any good things to say about the beaches version? Or like you have
I
any
don't
like?
really know. I mean, all I know is that at least they keep that line that Bird says about that I wish I could use whatever the deodorant.
Stronger deodorant.
Yeah, that's my favorite line in the show.
Oh yeah, that
Hey, I have appreciation.
I know, monorail.
I have appreciation for any show that's still playing that uses Kevin Clash, Steve Whitmire, Carol Spinney.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like, I'll take it, even if it's bad. I'll take it.
Pre-recorded.
It's just good to hear them again.
Yeah.
Hey, Sesame Place, bring back the original Sesame Street Christmas. You can do it.
Yes. Yes, you can. With that, not that.
They can do whatever they want. Let's be honest.
Not that sing
They could bring back everything if they really wanted to.
Well, yes and
They
no.
still got Christmas Witch.
With exceptions.
They still got
With
Christmas
exceptions.
Witch. I'm sorry, Christmas Witch. I'm be honest, Christmas Witch.
They could recreate.
Wait, hold on a second. Joey,
I
that
think-
might be what you're about to say.
I think Christmas Witch is dated.
Hmm.
It's kind of
Really?
dated. Even Murray's like a main character in that. He's
Oh, they
not
can
even-
remove him in any time. But I
Sure.
will say this.
Sure.
Christmas Witch in
Neighborhood
person.
Street
Have you seen it
Mario.
in person?
I
Have
see
you seen
Christmas
it?
Witch in person, yes.
Okay. So like the energy of it, the music of it, I don't know. I have to disagree just because I will say this. This past season was my first time actually seeing it in person. And it felt more fresh to me because they updated the outfits
Okay. Oh,
and looked aesthetically better.
I didn't even notice. I didn't even see the newer footage of that. Dang. I gotta check that. Thank you.
Yeah, they updated the outfits
yeah.
right away. It's a good show. It's really a beat.
I like it. I don't hate it. I think Neighborhood Street Party. That parade. Like, I think that needs to. Here's the thing. If they're gonna put that in like all the parks, I think that parade is gonna be running longer than Rock Around the Block.
by far.
That's gonna beat Rock
I'm
Around
sure
the
it
Block.
will.
Like,
Especially
I
because
actually wanted that parade to go years ago because it was like, dang, are they actually using songs from High Five in this parade?
You know what?
Yeah.
We'll miss it when it's gone. So
Jump!
Yeah, that is true.
What's up, Sesame Place?
Once this parade is gone, Murray is no more.
And they bring back Amazing Alphabet Parade, but a new version.
I wonder if they still have the countable bill.
I got nothing to say about the other stuff about the Beaches version. I haven't watched it enough to.
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, it's fine for what it is. The
Same show.
intercut of Carol's older voice, which
They
you know you can't do much with it, but
And it's kind of like I don't. I'm sorry. I feel like Telly's a character that would more suit the being afraid of the water. I didn't like that change.
right, yeah, it didn't make any sense.
It made no sense. Big Bird.
But it made sense in the fact that they don't have television.
Right.
They could have just added a different character.
Right, a new
At
character.
the time, they only had Big Bird was the newer character at the time.
I feel
That's
like
why they got the show.
if you were to add a character to the show, honestly, I don't know.
Grover.
I was about to say Grover. Yeah.
Let him be afraid, even though it wouldn't make sense. But hey, let him be afraid. I mean, he's afraid of things, but
Right. No, he's afraid because I'm blue and the water's blue, something like that.
can I throw out this thought? This was a really missed opportunity for great alliteration in this title. Big Bird's Beach Bash.
Big Bird's Beach Bash.
Why'd they ruin it with party? It could have been 4 B's.
I don't mind party.
I'm just realizing that reading it here. I'm like, huh.
Big Bird's Beach Bash.
Yeah,
That sounds like if they were to name the show now.
that's true.
yeah. Because they
That's
called
true.
the dance party summer edition.
Dance
Beach
party
Bash.
bash. They use that word a lot for their dinners, their
Mhm.
dinner. Elmo's birthday bash.
It's like 4 songs.
It's always gonna be the Elmo slide. Oh yeah, he uses a cartwheel everything. Oh, remember that? Oh, okay. We can't talk about Beach Party without bringing up that performance where it was raining outside and they were doing some pretty interesting things on.
Yeah, do we have that footage?
Oh yeah.
This video speaks for itself. Just lower the volume on the video.
Oh, this is also during the final year of the show, too. We want to pay attention to Zoe and Bert have something going on. Yeah.
So for context, I guess there was like nobody in the audience for this show.
There's nobody in
It was
the.
a rainy
There's
day, one of the last performances.
There's only like 6 people.
This would never fly today.
Oh, everybody's
He's having a little side conversation with Kelly. Oh! Did he a thrust there? Wait for me.
But Zoe's the best part in the background.
God. Oh.
Oh, no, probably.
Okay, Bird actually has a lot of energy in the ring. Oh.
Split.
I just want to hear how hard they're laughing.
Yeah.
Like you know, the performers.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we didn't do that part a little bit more energy.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? Like they didn't cancel the performance. Any other time, once it starts downpouring, they'll cut the audio and cut the performance.
I love how the video is called "I'm Naughty." Okay, yeah. This. Oh, look at Jamie in the back, just chilling. Oh! Oh yeah, the adults really love that.
That was the naughty performance of Big Bird's Beach Party Special
was
Live.
art.
Won't see stuff like that anymore.
That was art.
No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna fly. It's not gonna. No. Any last thoughts on Big Bird's Beach Party?
I loved the run of shows during that year. You had that, Elmo's World, and then whatever was there at the time, Big Game Show or David Jack, plus the legendary Rock Around the Block parade. That you can't beat that run. You just can't.
No.
I don't mind Treasure Hunt. I don't mind Treasure Hunt either because that was also during my time. So I don't mind that, even though I prefer the others over. Oh, we go back to that Tampa Cookie Monster. Was he wearing like a cookie hat on or something? Because I know in Sesame Place he was wearing that cookie hat and then he was wearing like another cap over it. Like that was a wardrobe change and also they're having him stay during like the first bit of the song in Tampa, but in Philly he's chasing after this other host.
Right.
Right before, and then she introduces Jamie. My friend Jamie's a really good singer, and but it's not the case here.
Very interesting how they did the two different versions.
Very different, very distinct.
It's like they wanted to do this at first, and then that's what they're like. All right, let's change it up a little. Do this.
And I'll say Color. Was the song that they used here. Oh, during the In Your Imagination, that I'm pretty sure that was the one. It sounded like the one from Best of Elmo because that was crazy.
Oh, you talking about like them repurposing like the vocals?
Yeah, no, well the arrangement I'm specifically.
Oh, the arrangement. Oh, yeah.
Because that sounded like the one, but except Big Bird singing it instead of Elmo. But.
Yeah, so the composer, I believe, of this show was John Baker. So he was familiar already with a lot of these arrangements. Because not only did he do the Sesame Place shows, but he did a lot of the live shows as well.
In your imagination, that sounded very similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did the one from 1, 2, 3 Imagine, which has a similar.
You know who? Anyone? Do you know who wrote the show specifically? Or?
1, 2, 3 Imagine exactly?
No. This one, Beach Party. Who wrote this one?
I have no clue.
Heard of the song? Or this?
I don't.
I would imagine it was a little bit of a collaboration between a couple different people.
Could have been, or it could have been one of the Sesame Street writers.
Yeah, then because you could easily. It's like the storyline does sound like an episode of Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is something that I think a lot of shows sort of lack now. I mean, Magic.
Yeah, well, you know, this is really the show in a lot of ways is kind of a sign of the times.
Oh yeah.
Both in the quality, the longevity of it.
Yeah.
The theme, you know, is just very distinct.
It was a similar one. It was called Burn Ernie's Island Paradise, I think it was called. Was that the one in 94?
It was in 94, yeah. It only lasted.
And then they had a cover of the Rhythm is Gonna Get You.
Oh, yeah, there's two different versions of that. There's one with Prairie, and then there's one with Zoe.
They actually had that one at Tokyo Sesame Place, but it was in Japanese.
Yeah.
Tokyo Sesame Place!
So much history with that part, too. Yeah, that's
very interesting. We don't have a lot of footage from that park. Nothing.
No, it's not. Nope. I'm not that much closer to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you just don't.
Whether it leads to anything or not. I believe I know somebody from Japan who visited there quite a bit when they were kids.
I heard it wasn't a good one.
Maybe they will.
Was it? Because from looks of it, it didn't really look that good.
I mean, I will say the pictures I've uncovered, I will say that the inside streets and stuff like that were pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, the streets were really nice. I mean, I love everything in Japan, but
yeah, I do like their entertainment offerings, what they have.
Oh yeah, I think their entertainment was great. They had the
They did a lot of the
mini version of
live
shows that everybody makes music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did a lot of the live shows, but condensed them into.
I will say the characters are pretty limited though. Pretty limited character selection.
Yeah, I mean, then they had their own two exclusive characters. Too.
Oh, they had the original characters in Japan. Yep. They had yep.
I think it was Tina and Moji, something like that.
Yeah. They had that Disco Express bus show. I remember that.
Yeah. You know, I think the truth is this, Sesame Street and these characters, I think are better served the way they are now in the park than having their own park. You know, I think being in Universal in Japan, I think it's a lot more fitting.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And they give it.
They do a lot lot better.
They do. I mean, it's just
than they would if Sesame Place.
It's just Japan in general. Most of their theme park, they're just doing whatever the heck they want.
Oh yeah, we got it. We absolutely have to do not just an episode about Tokyo Sesame Place, but an episode about
Universal Japan.
Yeah, just about what they do over there.
A lot to talk about.
It's so impressive.
All the show, all their little bus shows, they had so many of them.
They have the best of a lot of things.
Oh yeah, they have that whole area with that Elmo, that Dorothy log flume.
Oh yeah, the Fun World.
They had that dark ride. That was Singapore, the Spaghetti Chase.
No. Oh, well, yeah, that, and then they have the one in Spain. The Portaventura, yeah. That's Fishing Street, whatever. That thing's pretty cool.
That's a Sesame.
You know, it's funny because once you look at the amount of pictures that we look at and videos that we look at, you really notice, like, it's funny to notice, like, the very specific different versions of the costumes.
Oh yeah,
and like recognizing them in different areas, how long, like,
yeah,
it's not something you normally think to pay attention to, but
yeah,
you can't help but notice it.
Of course. I mean, that's
exactly
kind of the same way for me when it comes to like the Disney and Universal costumes. You know? We covered we covered a lot. Yeah.
We did, and if any of you guys have memory of seeing this or anything like that, let us know in the comments what you thought about it. And
I know they had that brief SeaWorld run though. We had that it was outside. Yeah.
Or if you go to beaches now and you see it, or you've seen it recently, or just any of your thoughts on it, let us know. And of course, like always, if you have pictures or videos or stuff like that,
anything.
Hopefully more footage of the show comes about.
Yes, surprisingly, despite the fact that there was all this footage we've been showing, there's little to no footage of the show from beginning to end in those early years, like in full length.
It was up.
It exists, though. We know it.
Oh yeah, someone taped it. We're not gonna put it up. Nope.
All right, we're gonna wrap this podcast episode up. I have been your host, Neil.
I'm Sky, and thank you, Joey, for coming on for this episode and chatting with us about this.
No problem.
Absolutely. See you guys on the next one.